Let's say you're voted into office. A. Would you loot public funds for your own personal benefit? Or B. Would you do the needful and serve the people as you've been elected? That is a question for your conscience. Hello everyone, welcome to Profound Perspective, where we discuss everyday life issues that affect us and prefer different perspectives of possible solutions by looking at the bigger picture and working towards greater good. My name is Hauwa Adamu Kiyawa. Let's get right into it. Today's guest is Jamilu Abdulsalam, who is a visionary entrepreneur and venture creator with over 20 years of experience, driving excellence across diverse sectors, including real estate, agriculture, entertainment, financial technology, fashion, and manufacturing, earning him different prestigious awards for innovation. You're highly welcome. So today's topic is going to be the state of the youth in relation to expectations on social impact. Welcome.
Thank you.
So the first question I would actually ask is, what do you think the state of mind of the youth is in this day and age?
Okay, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ala rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. First of all, let me thank you for having me. As regards to this topic, I think the main concern is the expectation, as you said. A lot of our youth, be it graduates, be it school dropout, we have high level of expectation from government. And I would say this is vice versa. The government having high expectation on the youth, and the youth having high expectation on the government and the society at large. You know, I'll give you an instance. Most of the times when we look at graduates, students from university level, they look forward to graduating, finishing their NYSC, getting a white-collar job.
Feeling into
that. Buying this kind of a flashy car, building this kind of a house, getting this color and type of a wife to marry.
So what you're saying is having that degree, in a sense, is a way of them thinking, okay, as soon as I have this degree, I'm going to have everything.
That's the expectation. You see, we all were in these kind of situations in our life where you look forward to, okay, let me finish with school. When you see someone driving a flashy car, you know, after my school, I'm going to get this kind of car. Or when you look at politicians, you say, no, after my school, I'm going to contest for this position. Now, the bottom line is we're all looking forward to make money. Everyone look forward to make money. And that's where the genesis of our problems are. For instance, now, when you take the ratio of the youth we have, we take the ratio of the graduates we have over 36 states.
Yes, 36 states, including the federal capital.
And across all these 36 states, we have NYSC camps. We have core members being posted. You have stream 1, you have stream 2.
Multiple times in a year.
You have batch 1, you have batch 2, you have batch 3. Now, when you take each and every stream and batch, you have average of 2,000 core members. Now, multiply this number by the number of streams you have in a year, by the number of batches you have in a year, and by the number of states you have across the federation. It's a huge number.
Aside from the states, I feel like with the number of universities, higher institutions that you have that graduate students and then go to universities, it just doesn't add up for us to have that much. And with the way we call it, the labor market, right, is in this particular point of time. So moving from that state of mind that the youth have, how do you think it impacts social impact or the society? for us to have someone from the university graduating, doing their NYSC, and then maybe if they have a chance, get a job, whether it being in government or not. How does that translate to our, productivity and giving back to the society?
You see, that's what I was trying to get you to by giving you that analysis as regards to core members. At the end of the day, when you look at the number of core members, graduates, government doesn't have the slots to accommodate everyone. Both the public and the private sector cannot accommodate the number of graduates we produce every year. We cannot. Now, you now have to get back to the drawing board. When we're at the drawing board, starting from the basic institutions to colleges to universities. Now, at a point, I used to be invited by universities, particularly at Bayero University, where I go talk to graduating students regarding the life after school, the ups and downs. What to expect. Now, after like 2, 3, 4 sessions, I had to advise the faculty, and I was opportune in one of the sessions. The VC was there, the dean of all the faculties were there, and I was telling them, look, as against having this as just one-off in a year, why not emulate other developed countries where you see colleges and universities have a mixed curriculum? You have maybe 60% academics, you have 40% practicing entrepreneurship. So you have...
So that is mentorship.
From the university.
Yes, from the university.
From the university.
For you to what to expect from the real world.
Yes, in fact, before you even graduate, your mindset is being prepared. Probably at the point where you're in school, you will have to start something before graduating. So I advise them on that. Look, let's try and advise this, because you produce graduates, they go there, they're not productive. They have no entrepreneurial mindset. And they go out there to the labor market, no opportunities for them to work.
No experience.
Zero experience. So now what do we do? Now change their mindset. Inject the entrepreneurial spirit into them while in uni. Now, if you have the academics, the lecturers taking the theoretical part of it, they guide them, they train them on how to write this, how to write that. Now you get a practical entrepreneur. You have industrialists. Put these guys together. Okay, now as an entrepreneur, if I should talk to a student regarding entrepreneurship, he would understand better, because I'm going to give him examples with my focus, my points, my bends, and all. Or like a lecturer that has been in university all his life.
It's all theory, no practical.
No practical.
And you would be able to put your point across because you have the experience and they can see that you have the experience as well.
Yeah.
So it's easier to believe and to emulate than that of maybe the lecturer telling them what to do in theory.
Yes.
And they see that's in theory.
Even though the students need the two. You understand? They need both the academics and the entrepreneurs. But what I'm saying is marrying these two together
will help more.
Will really, really help. And I tell you, since then, I was kind of challenged to take a guest lecture with Bayero University, and I take psychology of entrepreneurship, trying to work on graduating students, changing their mindset. And believe me, some of my students started running their businesses while in uni.
Because they have that person that would show them the way, and they see real results from you, and they know, okay, what he's telling us is really true. What he's telling us is workable.
Yes.
So it's going to work, and let's try and see. Because if they don't have that, example that is being set for them, it's hard for them to believe that, okay, what that person is telling you is going to work.
Yes. Yeah, and another thing is, when an academic talks to you about business, he tells you on the roads to follow to get to where you're intending to. The difference between us and the academics is, I hold your hand to take you there. But they show you the road and you find your way through the road. And while going on that journey, there are turns and bends which nobody is going to tell you.
As an entrepreneur.
But as an entrepreneur, I have experience. I will tell you, when we get there, this is what's going to happen to you because I was there before. So I feel this spirit of youth. We have quite productive youth in Nigeria. We are very talented when it comes to business and whatever you name it. But what we need is that just little push. Once we get the push, the youth we have in Nigeria are outstanding. And I will tell you they are better than any youth across the globe.
So the youth need an enabling environment that will push them and boost them into their potential.
Absolutely. And I'll give you an instance. When you look at social media, which are also encourage the universities and colleges to introduce courses that relate to digital media. Social media, go with the time. Social media, now it has come to stay. And a lot of our youth creates their businesses on social media with nobody teaching them, with nobody mentoring them. But they saw the opportunity. A lot of them became bloggers. A lot of them became content creators. A lot of them are making life out of this social media with no training, no of such. But now imagine someone that just overnight becomes a blogger and goes through the courses, goes through the professional training of what blogging is all about. Is definitely going to become outstanding.
Because they've already been put on the right track. Plus, experiencing it practically, that would really aid. So there's this question that I have, whereby, do you think that our mentality, because at the end of the day, our way of thinking, should I say, stunts us in some ways? Because you would see that, yes, there are children or the youth that are in school, and there are some that are out of school. How do you think we could reach those that are out of school in order for them to be able to be productive, to rid us of the nuisance that we know we are facing, whereby at the end of the day, those are going to be the ones that are going to be in the position of counselors, that are going to be in the position of, governors, the president. So how are we supposed to reach those that are not in school that might be constituting nuisance?
Well, I feel the answer is just responsibility. Everyone has to know and take responsibility for his life. You see, when you look at the whole of the layer of the society, be it at the lower class, the middle class, the elites, the politicians, the governed, everybody needs to be responsible for his action. Now, it doesn't make sense when I would have to go marry 4 wives and have 30 kids.
When you can barely feed.
Where I can barely feed. I don't know their whereabouts. I don't care about how they feed on me.
Exactly.
So I need to take responsibility. And if I fail to take responsibility, there should be consequences for it. That's one. The politicians that are out there setting policies for us, being there, paving way for the development of the society, needs to be responsible, needs to be accountable for whatever they do. So I feel the society needs to be, should I say, reset, where every human being needs to be responsible for his life, needs to be responsible for his action. For instance, we are all family people. We have parents, we have brothers, we have siblings, we have kids. You have to take full responsibility of anybody that is under you. There is an hadith of Abdulsalam alayhi wasallam that says, "Kullukum ra'in wa kullukum mas'ulan an ra'iyati." Each and every one of you is going to cater, for everyone that is under him. So you are responsible for people under you. You have to account for that. So in a society like Nigeria, where you see everyone is would just do whatever they want to do, and no accountability, no penalty for anything,
no
consequences, I feel we have a long way to go.
So what you mean is we have to unlearn irresponsibility and relearn responsibility.
As we need to be, when you go to developed world, for example, China, There are things you can't dare to do, but not in this country.
Because those rules and regulations
Are
are
there.
set in place, and when you deviate from that, there are
That
consequences.
consequences.
Yes,
So we are as against Nigeria.
where anything goes.
Anything goes. We could do anything you want to do, especially if you have the power or you have the money.
So this is what
Unfortunately.
always saddens me, because the youth that are aspiring to be something are looking up to the people in power and in positions of power. They are not doing the right thing. So what do they learn? They learn irresponsibility as well, and then it continues to carry out as the time goes. So how do we change that? Because already those people are in power and they already hold the characteristics of irresponsibility. How do we trickle down to the youth and tell them that that is not a way to go, that is not a life to live? You have to be of service to gain service as well.
Okay, you see, the concern, first off, is the society has built a life where you are somebody or you are responsible if you have either power or money. Whether you have power or you have money, that's when you are respected in the society.
That's when you count.
That's when you count. Now, for that reason, everyone looks forward to making money or looks forward to having power. And that's why anytime you see someone that is rich and everyone goes down on their knees for them, whether they are right or they're wrong. This is the society. And when I say society, I mean the whole society at large.
Yes.
Now, how do we correct it? Correcting it means we all have to do our part in our individual homes.
Going down back to the grassroots.
To the grassroots.
To the home.
Yes,
Yeah.
we have to do that. You have siblings starting from there, because before you get married, you need to have siblings, whether brothers or sisters, which you have to train,
Yes.
alongside your parents, down to when you get married, you have kids. We have to start teaching our younger ones values. It's not really about money.
Yeah.
It's about responsibility.
Sure.
It's about what value do you add to your community? What do you give out? It's not about what you receive.
Exactly.
You understand? Both in a society nowadays, even when you call a boy from a street and you feel, okay, hey, come, let me support you. Come and do A, B, C, and D. I feel if you're able to deliver, you're going to make money. They don't look at the end result
They look
to
at
deliver.
the
What
money.
can I get before I start the work? Unlike in our times, I'm not old, I'm still young though. But when I started working in a bank. I was paid just 18,000 naira. Online, that's it. 18,000 naira. Because I was hired more like a contract staff, not directly with the bank, but through an outsourced company. They were paying me 18,000, which I would have to work my salary, or I would have to work my income. So for every 1 million naira I will bring to the bank, I earn, I think, 3,500. So when I bring 10 million, I will be paid 35,000 naira in those days.
Yeah.
So now, if I would look at the money,
You wouldn't work.
as a graduate,
Yes.
remember? So, but maybe because of the discipline and because of the society at that point,
Exactly.
you understand, I picked the job, I went there for two reasons.
To build yourself.
Exactly, for two reasons. One, I've never worked, even though I served in the bank, but serving is different from working.
Yeah.
I've never worked in a bank, not even in a corporate organization. Why not go there, mingle with people, get the experience and all of that?
Right.
That's one. Secondly, the question I ask myself is, if you do not do this, what would you do?
And we are at a time where some would rather not do that and get that, pittance.
Yes,
than
or beg around.
Exactly.
Yes, or beg
They
around.
don't stay without doing anything.
And I will tell you today, I'm sitting on a board of 8 different companies. And what was the genesis? Is the bank. I was in the bank all my training, all my experiences, everything that I do and I put in practice in my journey, I learned everything from the bank.
So what we fail to understand is having experience, it's an abundance of wealth.
Yes, I agree.
It never finishes. It always accumulates and you would continue to use it.
And having said this is why I always tell people, particularly my students, that you can start business with zero money.
True.
I always say this. So what you need is the experience. But today, everyone wants to start up a business without the training, without going under anybody, without experience. You just want to be called a CEO. You want to become a chairman of a company.
Out of the blue.
Well, imagine you have the experience, you've worked under someone, you gain all this experience. You get to a point where you build a network where I don't need money to start a business. Imagine today, I want to start up a real estate, let's say here in Kano. And all I need to do is tell you as a landowner that, okay, you have a land, okay, I have the experience. Why not? What's the value of your land today? Okay, the value of my land today is 100 million, for example. I'll tell you, okay, why not? As against selling it now, give it to me. I'll give you 200 million in the next 2 weeks. That's a wow impression I put in your head.
Yes.
Okay, you're giving me 200% return on investment.
First off, the person never thought he could get that way.
Right? Now, I would get a land without paying a dime. Now, the next thing is, I have people, because I've built my brand as an individual. They get to know I have experience. They get to know that probably I'm working in a reputable organization where they could trust me for their money.
Yeah.
Now, I'll now tell them, hey, I'm building this and this and this in this thing. Now, if I build this, the value is X amount. But if you're going to give me this money, I'm going to sell it to you at this amount. Remember, that reputation needs to be there for people to count on you with their money, you know. Now, when you marry the two together, it may sound, this could be a bit tricky. It's not as easy as you're saying it, but I'm telling you, if you have the experience, it's even more easy. It's easier than I even mentioned.
So gathering by experience is paramount in being able to move further and, building yourself as well.
Yeah.
So first off, I would say I really appreciate you being here. But before we go, I would like you to give a takeaway for the audience, a little nugget, so that at least they can take something, even though they've taken a lot, but they can take something from the wealth of your knowledge.
Well, what I would say to all the youth specifically is I'm talking to you as an individual, are responsible for your life. Nobody, not your father, not your mother, not your neighbor, and not the society, is responsible for who you become, what you want to become, or the vision you have ahead of you. It's all about you versus you.
So, you heard him. You versus you. And that's all we have for this episode. Make sure you subscribe, click the notification bell so that you can get updates on Profound Perspective. I'll see you on the next one.